G'day folks, this is a little update on the turbocharger jet engine project, I guess you'd call it. Yeah, Alex993cc1 talked me into this, sort of. I pinched this jet, or bought this turbocharger from the scrapyard with the intention of doing the same sort of thing ages ago, probably about a year and a half ago. I never got around to it because I couldn't really settle on a combustor design, but he pretty much drew it up for me the other night. It's really simple. So all I've been doing is cutting the right angle exhaust flange off and in half. The bolts are pretty stuck, like they were extremely tight, but I should be able to extract enough of them to maybe get 4 bolts back in there. And I also wanted to check the turbine condition because that nut and everything is seized. I don't want to destroy that clamp. But I can see from there it's pretty good, like there's no big chips or anything in the blades. It'll do its job quite well. I just want to clean any muck out of it. Likewise, I'll open up the inlet side, since it has been sitting open to the weather for a bit. I'll clean up the inlet side, the compressor turbine, and away we go. It doesn't have really any. It's got a little bit of play on it, but nowhere near enough to hit the sides of the housing. I just need to build up about 50 psi of oil pressure and stuff that in there. That's all capped off at the moment, but I've got a banjo line to go off from that banjo bolt, so it's sealed at the moment completely. That's all plugged, but I'll yeah, give this thing a decent oil supply and it should be fine. And this came off a what was it, as a Nissan UD. Useless diesel, a lot of people used to call them, the UDs. I don't know, I've never driven one, but apparently they're pretty awful. Yeah, it's a Garrett Turbo TA4507. And yeah, as you can see, high pressure oil goes in there through the bearings, and it just goes through a gravity return to the crankcase of the engine, or in this case it'll be a sump tank. But that's all a scrap, just old brackets and things. That I'm going to, I'll grab it on the inside on the lathe with the 3-jaw chuck and turn the outside down so that I can fit a length of exhaust tubing over it, or maybe even just turn it flush and put another taper on the inside edge so I can jam one inside it and just rivet it. Put a few stainless rivets in it, should be plenty good. Not sure, machining these lugs off on the poor little lathe probably be a bit hard, so I'll have to set it in the turret lathe, assuming it runs concentric. Or I can grip it with a 3-jaw. Yeah, just. I'll get three chuck jaws onto that evenly. They really rip the material off. But yeah, I want to open this next. Okay, well, I spent a bit of time going over it with Dad and everything. He wanted to see it, so we cleaned a bit of muck off it, but as you can see there's a lot of pitting from where water's sat in it. Like, the bearings and everything are fine, so the shaft seals must be fine. But she's not very happy otherwise. Just corrosion in the housings, but it will run again. It will. That looks like a balancing checkout. I've nibbled a bit out of there too. Pretty sure that's titanium, but it does have a lot of oxide, transfer oxide on it. And I'm thinking maybe fill this with, or dunk it in a bath of caustic soda and water and let chemistry do all the work. Strip all the gunk off it. But otherwise, there's no real damage to it. There's a few tiny little chips in the compressor turbine, but that's normal. A little bit of debris or something's gotten past the air cleaner. So this thing should work fine. Axial play is virtually non-existent. Lateral play is a little bit, but once the bearings are under pressure, that should go away. It just floats on a cushion of oil. There is still some oil floating around in there, but not much. I did make sure there was some just engine oil inside the sealed bearing housing, so she's pretty good. It'll run again. It's got a lot of cleaning to do, and then mount it on a base plate with the correct housing orientation. Because now that I've broken all this oxide, I can actually loosen the bolts off and turn it. Because that was the other problem, you can't turn the damn thing and rotate it.